Hello and welcome to Life is Feudal, Forest Village. Picking up from the last episode, I'm trying to add a bit of efficiency into this village that we've got. We've been doing quite a lot in terms of getting more fish, for instance, so that all these farmers, gardeners, and the gatherers have got, they've got somewhere to go during the winter rather than just standing around, and that's really helped a lot. We've got just basically tons and tons of fish in stock now, and we've got much more vegetables as well, so our food supply is doing really well. But I want to still improve on that, because I've still got these just crazy problems happening at the moment. So for instance, you got Miller Hildegard down there. It says she died from hypothermia. Now, as far as I was aware, I think she was working up here, because I actually saw her. She actually died right there. That's about as far as she got. She was almost at the point of getting home. I don't understand why she died of hypothermia, because there's plenty of warm clothes and normal clothes in store. She didn't decide to go and look for clothing. She actually was heading home, but she just couldn't get far enough. So whether that's a problem within the the AI system, or whether it's just a case it was just too far to go, I honestly don't know. But seeing as I wanted to increase the population and get a house down in this area to make things more efficient, I think I'm going to start with that. And the plan is to put a big house here to cover for all the people that are working in this area, because I know some of them at some point they were actually living over here. So we already have a house down here, but I think if I put one in here, it'll make things more efficient for people. So the plan is I'm going to move this warehouse from here to here. So I'll just go and get myself a warehouse. Just check that one. Yeah, that looks like it's facing the right direction towards the road. The reason I'm doing that is because that's basically where all the hay ends up, and that's needed by the actual the herders. So the ones that look after the sheep, the ones that look after the cows. So that's a bit closer, I think, at least for these ones. Could be slightly closer for them, it's difficult to tell. We'll get that built, and then we'll get this one decommissioned. Now, we've got 2 grass fields over there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look, because there's one of these farms is actually, yeah, this farm here is not being used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that one over to grass. Get that one going. We'll decommission that one and that one. So the 2 farmers from there will now go over there, and they'll basically just deliver all of the hay over into the warehouse there. So that's not a big deal of moving that about. So that frees up a bit of room. Now we've then got our flax field, 2 flax fields. Now I think I should be able to fit a house hopefully in here somewhere. So that's just a little one. I want the big one. Just wondering if that's big enough to fit between these 2 here. It looks like it is. So what I should then be able to do is flip this one over to flax. And I'll put that one on pause for now. I'll unpause that one. So in theory I should then be able to decommission that field there, move the weaver over to there. We'll then take all of these buildings out, and that should free up some room for the big house. So I need to get this place here built first. So I'm going to get that started. Once that's built, then we can start our decommissioning work. So I'll just pause the game, and I'll bring you back shortly. Well, the warehouse has now been built. The terraforming over there is completed. So I've got an order unpaused to clear this area out, and I've added another one in there to try and keep this in a straight line. But one thing I've noticed, actually, it's quite possible that the farmers here, when they come around to harvest things, they might actually take the grass over to here. So that could be a problem for me. Now at the moment it's only getting used for when people are chopping the trees down, because you get trees growing around here. So every so often I'll put instructions in to chop the trees down. But it's also being used by the iron mine there. So I think what I'm going to do, just to be on the safe side, is I'm going to put I'll put another warehouse in here. I don't know, is that too big or is it just big enough? Yeah, I'll plonk that down there. So I'll get somebody to build a warehouse there, and then I'll decommission that one. So it's a bit more efficient for the iron miner. I've got a fair while before they run out of iron. But yeah, I definitely want to get rid of that, because I want to make sure that when these get harvested, they're definitely bringing the hay here. I think they are actually, but it's just for peace of mind more than anything. But the one, because I mean it is very strange, I've noticed, is that, I mean, I've got these barns here, for instance. We're up to about 11 fish. I think they get emptied when they get to 15, but these two barns here, they're not getting any fish. And I think what's happening is oh, there we go. There you go. So they've got 13 fish. Now, I think they're actually going to take it to there. Yeah, see? They're taking it to this barn. Even though technically, I mean, they came out there, even though that barn is less distance to walk, they're deciding to go to that one. And I think what they're doing is, I think they treat this area here as their exit point. You can see they're going about as far as they possibly can to the end of the fish farm, if you will. And then they're looking, well, where's my, once they're there, they decide, well, where's my nearest barn. Now, technically that is the nearest barn if you're standing over here, but when they actually leave the fish farm, they're coming out here, so there's something definitely strange in the mechanics there. But it makes these barns pretty much useless, really, because, I mean, somebody here would probably wander all the way over to that one. This person will probably wander all the way over down to that one, so it's not that efficient. I mean, I think anybody on these two, it's quite possible they would then go to that one. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing any in there. So, yeah, it's definitely strange. So, it's just something to keep an eye on. But anyway, we've now got this barn. So they're doing that work there. So, I'm going to put in order to decommission the warehouse there. I've already got these two kilns being decommissioned. We may as well get rid of our field as well. So I'm going to have to put that on. Well, I'll have to take the paws off that one. So we've now got our flax fields growing here. I've got an instruction to put a scarecrow there because that should cover both, and then I can get rid of these two scarecrows here. There's no point having the both of them. And then I should be able to then move this weaver over to there, and then we can build a house. So that terraforming's finished there, so I'm just going to unpause that so they can start basically clearing more space in this direction. That'll widen things out for like the fruit farms that I'm going to need. But I'm just going to wait for these to be cleared out, and then I'll start moving this. And then once we're ready to start building our new house, I'll bring you back. We've got our work done now, so we've now got our weaver over here. We've now got two flax farms down there and a warehouse over there. So we're ready to start building the house. So I'm just going to slot that over there and put in a work order. I'm still getting some terraforming done there. Once that's complete, I'll just carry on further down. Now, I think for now what I'll do is I'll just keep expanding the actual wooden fence out for now. I mean, the plan is later to put a stone wall around, but just for the sake of being able to block that off quickly, I'm just going to put a wooden fence in temporarily. But really, I want to wait for this building to get built, then I'll upgrade it, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to decommission this building, force everybody out, and then I'll unpause this 12 buildings, so the population will go up by only 6. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could go higher, but I'm just curious to see where everybody moves, because I know there's some people down here, for instance. There's quite a few fish farmers who are working down here all the time. I'm just curious to see if they decide to go over here, or whether they'll go over here, because they do all like mix around. Like if somebody dies, or basically anything happens to change the the population limit. If there's a space somewhere in a house, they will actually decide to shuffle themselves around as soon as that change happens. So like the builders, for instance, I mean, are there any builders over here? No. Because that's, say there's a builder over there, they'd seem to move around because there was some work going on over here. And I think what they do, and I think the labourers do the same, is as soon as an opening occurs, you know, there's the amount of like housing places is bigger than the actual population. I think that like people like the labourers and the builders will actually move closer to where they're working at that moment in time. And it ends up quite strange because, I mean, I've had times where like a builder might be up here, living up here, and working down here, and that's just literally because that was the last place, you know, they went to move, because it just happened to be this area was where they were working in at that particular moment, before all the houses suddenly got full again. So I'm going to wait for these to finish building this house, get it upgraded, and then I'll bring you back once we're ready to move, everybody. Right then, we're almost ready for this house to be completed. So I'm just going to unpause the game. I'm going to force everybody out straight away. Let's have a look. I'm not seeing anybody complaining yet, but I'm going to pause that house off. So that forces everybody out of here. And then I'll unpause the big house there. So that's right, so well, that's good. So pretty much most of the people that have moved here are the people that are going to work here. So looking at farmers, bakers, the labourers and builders I can understand because they were working over here. It's like I said, I think as soon as like there's a change in the vacancies, you know, people will move closer to where they work, and builders, labourers, they just happen to move wherever they happen to be working at that moment in time. Now, I want to have a look over here and see if any of the fish farmers have moved here. Yeah, so there's one there. Yeah, I thought they would do that, and that's good, that, because it means most of the people living over here now are the people that work here. So all of the farmers that were working over here, instead of going all the way over to these houses, they're just here, so they're much closer to where they work, so they should become more efficient. So the population should start going up, and I'm okay with the amount of food that we've got. Now that place there, I want to decommission that farm, and I want to decommission the well and the scarecrow, because I want to put a fruit orchard in there, because we definitely need more fruit in the area for the bakers that are going to be making fruit pies. Now another thing I want to do is I want to move this miller, because this house has now been, well, we've now cleared this house, so actually I can put in a decommission order in this house. We're going to unpause it, but I do want to move the miller up to here, which means I've got to move all of these about. Now it's an 18 by 12 farm, so I think what I'm going to do, as odd as it sounds, I'm actually going to put some farms close to where we are. Now the best I can get out of that is 27 by 9. Now that's slightly bigger than an 18 by 12, so I'll pop that there and get them to build that one. I'm going to get these roads here removed as well, so take these roads out. Because basically, I mean, I don't think this is really efficient, having all of these houses, everybody living in an area like this when there's no actual work close by. So I think I'm going to build another farm around here. I'm just going to double check, because normally those roads would be gone unless someone's going to have to decommission them. It's possible, but I'm going to see if I can get myself a farm down here. Now I also want to build an apiary to replace that one. Now that one's not particularly large. It's that was enough for what, 2 people? 17 by 14. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to put a bigger one in here, if I can. Right, now the trouble is these wells are getting in the way. So I'm going to have to decommission the wells as much as I don't want to. I'm going to do that just so I can free up some space for this. Actually, I could put the apiary down here, I suppose, but we'll get these decommissioned, and then we'll build another farm along here, the apiary down here, so we then should start to get more honey, and then I can start to decommission these. So I'm just going to get that done off camera, and then I'll bring you back once we're ready. I'm going to have to change plans a bit more, because I mean the plan basically was, I mean I've moved an actual potato field up to here now, and the plan was to move one of the fields in the apiary down to here, but the trouble is there's not a great deal of room for the sort of expansion I was thinking of. I mean, I've got enough food to withstand the loss of a field. I mean the actual limit I've had to push above 50,000, because we went above the 40,000 limit. It's just literally because there's just so much fish being harvested, and I've had to start putting in orders like for the little trade, not as much a trade as the caravanners, to basically pick up fish from here and to pick up vegetables from here and take them over there, because they're just shuffling things around a bit's really improved the efficiency. But I think now what I'm going to do is, I mean, I've cleared this area out. I'm just waiting for them to clear this well. I'm going to clear this area out here because I think we can withstand the loss. Once those are removed, I'm then going to move the mill up to here. I'll probably move this wheat field here to the other side of the road. Now the grass field, I'm not so sure. I'll have to think about that, because I could clear out the orchard up here because it's not actually in use. I've only got it just ticking over there. It's just sitting there basically because I didn't want a load of trees growing in the way. So I'll probably move that, and that'll free up quite a bit of area around here, because I want the apiary surrounded by either orchards or farmers' fields. So yeah, it's kind of tricky, but I'm sure we've got plenty of food to be able to withstand it. So let's get started with that. So we'll just put the orders in to decommission these. I mean, some people are going to be out of work for a short while. Now that wheat field's got to go over to that side. So I'm just going to have to basically wait until these are cleared, and then once they're ready I'll bring you back so that we can move the actual windmill. Well, we've managed to remove all of those buildings, so I'm going to build ourselves a new windmill. Now if I put that up there, it's much closer to the barns, so pop that down there. Now the windmill, all it needs is wheat. So what I'm going to do, I mean, we're doing, well, not wheat, yeah, it needs grain. Yeah, wheat makes the grain. So I'm going to put in a new instruction for a field. Now that was a, let's see, what size field was this one? 12 by 12. So I think what I'll do, I mean, just having a look to see how much surplus grain we've got. I mean, we've got quite a bit of like spare wheat there. I'm just humming and hawing, thinking about where to put the actual bakeries, to be honest. Let's just clear some of this bit out first. Kind of kicking myself, really, having put that having put the warehouse there. It's not going to be on a road anymore, but never mind. I mean, that barn's next to useless to me, to be honest, because it's, you know, the fishermen are building, the fishermen are putting their fish into here at the moment. So I'm seriously tempted to decommission this barn and just leave the two bakeries down here, because like it's 6 and 2 3s. They've got to go to here and they've got to go here. So I suppose, really, I mean, I suppose I should put them in the middle of both. So let's decommission these, and then what I'll do is I'll have the two bakeries. I wonder if you could fit them. Could you fit? Yeah, you could fit two of them if I put like a road down here, running down here, then I could just literally line them up on the road, and then I could just put a slightly bigger wheat field over here. Yeah, let's do that. But I've got to wait for that to get decommissioned first. So I'm just going to wait for these builders to clear this place out. Then I'll bring you back. Well, we've got our windmill now built, and I've got this little area clear. So I think what I'll do first is just going to pause that windmill off there. I'll start that one going over there. Yeah, so there's two people, and two people have left there, so that's okay. Now, what I was going to do, I was really looking to actually build these bakeries so that they would be running down the side here. But the trouble is, there's not enough room. If you look at there on the ones on the right hand side, you can see that you put one there, then the next one's got to be up there, so you get that overlap, and that's why the road doesn't quite go in a straight line. So I think what I'm going to have to do, I mean, I've been juggling around trying to find different positions. I mean, I can't put like them that way around. It's like if I put one there, for instance, and then if I turn that one around, you can see it goes straight onto the road, so it would block the road off. And I can't have one of them facing one way and the other one. I just can't seem to line them up at all. So I think what I'm going to do, just take that one back out. I think I'll just put them on alternate sides of that road, because I still want a bit of room for the farm that we're going to use to make wheat. So put that one there. Oh, I'm going to have to wait till that gets... well, I'll leave that running a bit, so hopefully they'll clear that place out. I'll pause that off because I need the builders to go. They'll probably be out and about cultivating. So what we next need is the actual wheat farm. Now that, if I remember, that was a 12 by 12. Now I could build one all the way down to here, but that's got like enough for like, what, 2 workers, which I think is a bit too much, because we've got quite a lot of excess grain. We've got tons of flour. So I think I might just chop that back to 1. So if we put the wheat farm about there, I'll just leave that little gap up at top, to be honest. It's just slightly short, but it's bigger than the current one anyway, so that should produce more wheat. Ah, right, that's okay. So it looks like that's now cleared. Let's just see if I can fit that bakery in, because I'm not sure what was blocking it. Right, okay, so we can put that in. Oh, a tornado is heading now in our direction. So the idea is we'll get these two new bakeries built, and I can always put some water down here. We'll get these 2 people moved across. The farmer that's working here will move them across to here, so that keeps our wheat supply going. Now they produce grass, so the plan is to probably I want to put another farm up here that makes grass. But again, I don't want it too much, because we've got plenty of grass now. I think that's in part because I moved the main one up to here, and we've now got extra like room for people to live and work in the same area. So let's just see if we can get just a small enough grass field, because that was a 12 by 12. So what do we get on? That needs 2 people, so that's about a 14 by 13. 14 by 14 needs 2, so if we do that one there, 19 by 10. Actually, if we do that, because I think that's what that might be. Or is that 18 by 12 or something? Yeah, that's an 18 by 12, which is enough for 2 people. Yeah, that does 2 people, so we'll do it at that size, because I don't... Well, I suppose I could always put it in as a 12 by 18 and just have 1 person work it, I suppose. I could always try that. So we'll put that in there. So that'll replace that one there. So now that we've got our miller's mood, may as well decommission that place, take it off pause. May as well take the pause off that one actually. So I'm just going to run with this, wait until all these buildings have been decommissioned and the new ones built, and then I'll bring you back. Well, we're into spring now, and it's actually only now that the actual snow is starting to thaw, so I should be able to start seeing what I'm doing now. But this field was finished. Now that's set for grass. You can have potentially 2 farmers in here, but I'm going to leave it set for only 1. This one, now that replaces that one there, so I'm going to put a decommission order in on that one now. Now, I may as well get rid of that scarecrow as well. Now that wheat field there, I'm going to replace it with this one. Now this one you can do 2 people as well. But I'm just going to see what we can do when we've only got just the 1 person looking after it. So I'm going to put in a decommission for that one. And we'll set this one to be wheat. So let's just double check that one's grass. This one is wheat. Yep. Now that one's for potatoes. Now that's for 2 people, so I'll just leave that as it is. I mean, it's interesting actually that, I mean, we've still got tons and tons of food. I mean, I've taken out an apiary and I think it was 3 potato fields I might have taken out. But we're still getting like tons and tons of food. Now the interesting thing is, I mean, this barn's actually getting full because of all the fishing that's going on here. And it's a bit frustrating because there's this market trade, or the trade fair I should say, it just can't, there's hardly anything it can hold. I mean, we've got about 3,000 vegetables in there, and I had to actually stop it because I was getting a caravan to bring fish from here up to here. Then I've got another one that, there's another route that brings vegetables from this barn here, and another route that brings vegetables from this barn here all the way over to here, but it was just getting full too quickly, so I had to pause most of those routes off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end that house that I was going to build there, and I think what I'm going to do is replace this trade fair with an actual caravan, not a caravan, a castle barn, because they can hold much more. I mean, this one over here, yeah, I mean, that's got over like 13,000 vegetables in it. So I mean, for all these people, I'd rather have like a much bigger barn. I mean, it looks great, but practicality, it's just not there. I don't see any point. So I mean, that's going to need, it's going to need quite a bit of room. But I'll have to basically, once that's gone, I'll deconstruct. Actually, I'll just take that off. I'll deconstruct that, and I'm going to put a castle barn in. It's a bit frustrating really, because I mean, these barns, they're just too big for me to fit in. Ideally, I could have put one there, but I'm just going to wait for the frost, the snow to go, because the plan was to put some barns down this side as well. That should take a bit of the pressure off, because this one over here and maybe this one here, potentially they might go over to a barn on this side. But we'll just I need to change the actual professions over as well first. Need to make sure these are all back down to their normal levels. So there was 7 in there. We've got 4 of them. That's interesting because we're only up to 16. There was originally 20 people doing the farming. We don't have anybody doing the apiary anymore. So we should have 4 gatherers, 4 herdsmen. So we've actually got 4 fewer farmers now, which is interesting. So maybe those potato fields were a bit bigger than I thought, but we'll see how it goes, because I mean, we've got over like 20-odd thousand vegetables in stock. So I'll just leave this ticking over for a bit. But while that's thawing out, there is one other thing I forgot to put in, and that was the orchard, because we need more fruit. So that is that one there. So let's see how big we can get one of these. I mean, these ones are what? So they're big enough for 2 people. So if we can't get that far, that'll run onto the roadside. I mean, actually that wouldn't be too bad because later on I'm going to put a stone wall in anyway, so we could do it there. Now that's 2 people, 3 people. So if I put that orchard in there, we'll be able to get 4 people working that orchard. So I'll let them build that one. Let the game run on. So then hopefully we should start getting a lot more fruit coming in. Whether that's going to be enough to keep us in surplus or not, I don't know at this stage. Now that's something actually I do need to do, is I should really get rid of these bakeries now. There's no point having them because that's what they're supposed to make, so we'll change those over to fish pies. Yep, so they can focus on the fish pies, and I can get rid of that other well over there. I did put another couple of wells in there, and seeing as I couldn't fit the other bakery in here, I've just put a scarecrow in. So we'll wait for these to get decommissioned. I don't want to sort of like take the clay mine away yet because there's still a bit left. So I think I might put a couple of people extra into the clay mine just to make sure we clear that, and then we can start looking at putting more things down here, things like the apiary, for instance, more potato fields. But I definitely want to get myself a bigger chicken coop down here as well. But I might wait for that to basically run out of resources, and then we'll think about doing it then, because I'll have plenty of room once that's gone, because I can always take this tower away. But I'm just going to let the game play out, just so we can get these buildings decommissioned, get our new orchard built, and I'll bring you back in a short while. Well, we've got our decommissioning work done, and we've now got an orchard up here. So I'm going to set this one up for apples. We can have 4 people working on that, so we've got a few spare. So may as well do that. I mean, there's a few people yet to get into the workforce, so I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with just allowing them to do that. I mean, I'm not too fussed about the potatoes and other vegetables, because I think that should compensate it, because in theory you should hopefully get a lot more fruit probably next year, and then you'll have less people actually wanting to eat vegetables, hopefully. All this area is now clear. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another warehouse, and I'm going to put it down there. Yeah, I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to get rid of that one, that way I can keep a nice straight road. I'm starting to get a bit fussy because it's like, looks a bit strange having it like that. So yeah, we'll wait for that one to get built. But this area here is all clear now. So what we're going to do is I want to put in some more barns. I need that one that well there to get deconstructed. Let's take that one away as well. And then we'll put another barn down there, so hopefully that'll take a bit of pressure off this barn over here. I'm waiting for them to deconstruct this, and then we'll put a castle barn in. So yeah, we'll put that in. Now that should have a lot more capacity. So that fits quite nicely. So it's got more capacity, so I should then be able to get the traders going again. Not the traders, the caravanners rather. Let's see, yep, we do have 2 of them. Have we got two donkeys? Yep. So once this is built, then we can get the donkeys to start hauling some of the fish back here. We can take some of the pressure off the barn up here as well. That one, and the one a bit further down here, wherever it's gone. This one here as well. So we'll be able to take some of the vegetables away from there if need be. Put them into here. I should also be able to start bringing some of the firewood over as well, so that these people don't have so far to go to get their firewood. And then we'll be able to get the kilners going as well. So that's that should improve things a lot. Now let's see, so where's your nearest well? You go to that one, see if we can fit a well in there. Put that there, because yeah, there's a bit of space there, so I'll put the well there. We've done quite a lot of the terraforming now down there, so that's nice and clear. And I've got some orders in to clear more out areas out of here and here, so then we can start expanding. But I think what I'm going to do is as I say, I'm going to wait for this clay mine to be cleared before I start venturing into the chicken coop, the apiary, and so on. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video and then I'll come back once that barn there is completed. Oh, it looks like they've cleared that one out there, the well down there, so we can put that in. That goes into storage, so we'll put that. Yeah, we're facing the right direction, so we'll put that one there. So yeah, so I'm just going to pause the video and I'll bring you back once these are all done. Okay then, so this area is now looking a lot more cleaner. There's plenty of space for us to work in. So that gives us the chance to start looking to build a bigger chicken coop, probably in the next episode. We've got our barns now. We've got some nice tidy roadways down there as well. But I need to get some pressure off this barn here, because it just keeps getting full of fish. Everybody seems to be quite intentionally bringing their fish here rather than anywhere else. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, I did introduce one trade route to get the fish from here and take it to the new castle barn there, but it's not really having that much of an effect. So I think I'm going to build a dedicated caravan stable here to do that. We've got a new potato field over here, because I mean that was a two-person field before, and I don't think it's generating enough potatoes that we need. So I mean, we're down from about 27k to 25k, and that's like a year since I've introduced this four-person field. So at some point I'll probably have to introduce another potato field. I'm keeping an eye on these fields. So there's the wheat one here and the grass one here, because we're into the fall and there's still quite a lot to harvest. Now these are two people fields, but I was only running them with one person, so I might have to, you know, add another person into each field to make sure these are getting properly harvested. The orchard's doing well. We're up to 1900 fruit, but that's only this year. In the previous year we ran out of fruit, and I think that's because they get harvested every alternate year. Like, I mean, a field, you sow the crops, then you harvest them later in the year, whereas with the orchards, I think what they do is they'll look after the trees for a year, then the next year they harvest them. So yeah, I think I'll probably end up introducing like another four-person orchard down here maybe, because basically I want to keep it close to the barn, close to the house. I mean, I could introduce it down there, for instance, I suppose. Yeah, it probably makes more sense to put it down there. Now, because the clay mine was depleted, I had a look around and I managed to find a place up here for a new one, and then the stone mine depleted, so I've then built a new one just across the road. Now the people who are coming here, they've got quite a distance to travel. There's only 3 in each mine, so what I've done is I've introduced 2 shacks here. They can handle 3 people, so it means these people here, they can get most of their food from the barn here. So that's a lot better, I think, than having them coming all the way down here to eat. It does mean the population will go up a bit, but not too much. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I think it's just, you know, just little changes here and there that are going to make a big difference to the efficiency, and that ends up giving you, you know, a lot more food, which is pretty much the main thing to focus on. But I mean, I've got quite a few things to do, I'd say, in the next episode. There's not a great deal I can do in this area, I think, but there's something I want to do, but I'm just going to hold that off until the next episode, because I'm just keeping an eye on the clock as to how long this video is running, and I don't want it to run on too long. But other than that, I'd say I still need to sort out this little industrial area here and get that all moved up to there. So that's probably stuff to focus on in the next episode. So that's it for this episode. I do hope you've enjoyed watching it. If so, then do please leave a like, because that'll help me out a great deal. If you're new to the channel, then yeah, do subscribe if you'd like to see more content, but just remember to click the little bell icon, because then you get notifications for when new content comes out. And if you've got any comments, any suggestions, want to leave any feedback at all, please post that in the comments section below. But until the next video, thanks very much for watching. Bye!